Welcome to the Navionics, using the Navionics mobile app for ice fishing, part one, or the basics. The reason I'm keeping it two parts is that the last time I did this all in one shot, it got to be about 2 hours long. So anyway, mark it on your calendars. Next Monday at the same time, I'm going to do kind of a part two, and I'll show you what I'm going to go over with and what we're going to touch base with on part two. But basically, the first part here is going to be the basics, how to navigate around the screen, what's on the screen, and things like that. But a little bit about me. My name is Kirt Hedquist. I'm with Navionics. They call me a marine specialist. I fish walleye tournaments in the upper Midwest with my son, Mac, and there he's on the lower right-hand corner. There, we fish in tournaments together throughout the season. I also work with Bruce Doc Sampson on his Facebook page and his schools and so on and so forth. Understanding sonar and Lowrance operation. So if you're on Facebook or on the website, look us up at drsonar.com and on Facebook, Dr. Sonar or Kirt Hedquist Outdoors. A little bit more about me. I've been on the Lowrance Pro staff for about 6 years, so I can help you out there if you got any questions. And some contact information on me is right down below there. And again, there's my email address. If you have any questions or anything like that, you can look us up on Facebook if you have any questions on there, and type in some questions and so on and so forth. So, and I will be recording this webinar too for future viewing also. So if you want to come back and review it and things like that, it'll be online here in a few days. Maybe give it a week or so to do that. And again, everybody is muted just to keep things easier on me. It gets too much feedback and stuff like that. You don't want to hear somebody eating potato chips in the background or snoring if I put them to sleep, or worse yet, that they head off to the can there, watching on their phone there. So anyway, here's what we're going to go over tonight. Using the Navionics mobile app for ice fishing. Part one, the basics. We're going to go over an introduction. There's going to be a little bit of a PowerPoint presentation to begin with here. And then we're going to do a live presentation here with the online, so you can grab, if you got your phone handy or your iPad or whatever you're using, you can pull it up and you can step through it with me. And so it'll be live, no just PowerPoints or anything like that. So this is what we're going to go over a little bit. The difference between, there's two different versions, iOS and an Android version, Apple, which is iOS, and we're going to kind of compare the two. There's a few differences. Another thing we're going to talk about is the HD app versus the standard app, a common question. There's a free version of the Navionics boating, and then there's the Navionics Plus upgrade, kind of give you a little bit of an idea what the prices are. We're going to go over the website a little bit too. There's some good stuff on the website to look for too, some website highlights, some good question and answer stuff right there. I'll show you. So some of the primary differences between the two platforms is auto routing. Auto routing is available on iOS only right now. It's coming for Android, and I'll show you how that works here coming up. Pretty cool feature. Favorites, number of saved markers, which is what they consider waypoints, is Android based, is based on available memory. And iOS, 200 markers, 1,000 rounds at 1,000 tracks. Another difference here you'll notice, because I'll be using an iPad, and you'll notice some stuff here if you're using an Android. And I got an Android phone and an iPad, so there'll be a little bit of difference there. On your marker icons or your waypoint icons, Android only has a pin. iOS has a few different options, so you might see a few of those on my iPad. And also a tracking console. There's a playback feature, which we'll get into. I'll show you a little bit about that if we get time, but that'll come back. We'll go over that in part two of the advanced features on there. Pretty cool deal. You can record your track and you can play it back. Again, that's available on iOS only, and it's coming for Android. This is a common question I get all the time. If you go online, you look at it, let's say you get an iPad or whatever, there's two different versions. There's a standard app for your iPhone and an HD app for your iPad. The reason the HD app is more expensive is it's optimized for your iPad, and it's got a larger screen and things like that. It gives you better screen quality and things like that. It takes more to develop an app for an iPad, so it costs more. And again, similar for the Android handset and HD compatibility if you got a tablet there. Very similar idea there. Just it's optimized for the larger screen, and you'll get a much better resolution if you're using a tablet or an iPad. Go with the more expensive version. It's a lot nicer. So we'll go over this here. What do we get with the free Navionics boating app? The free version. The app is free. You can download the app for free, and you can play with a lot of the functions and things like that. You can go to your Google Play Store or your iTunes account, and again, the basic app is free. The free version, without the chart purchase, provides a GPS services, tracking, route, marker creation, a distance tool, geotagged, some videos, wind data, and magazine and guides. If you're wondering where to get the updated version, you'll see a pop-up on the top of the screen. There's actually a 1-week trial feature for this thing. So if you want to try it for a week for a free trial, you can try it, and some cool stuff. We'll go over what's in that thing. So the in-app purchase or upgrades, chart upgrades for Navionics Plus. This is that pop-up you'll see in the free version. What you'll get is on the basic boating app, you'll get the lake outlines and things like that, but you won't get the lake contours and things like that. So purchasing Navionics Plus chart coverage area provides you with maps, updated map with, hold on a second. Provides you with map updates called SonarChart, community edits for 1 year. At the end of the subscription, you can renew for another year of access to the updates. Advanced features, this is the stuff that's really cool also. Advanced features, you get Navionics Plus subscription, gives you advanced features along with chart updates. So you get your, as Navionics updates mapping and things like that, contour lines and things like that, you can update your charts in your app as much as you want for the first year. You get a navigation module, which is really cool, offering you advanced routing options and features. You get some advanced map options, allows you to customize your map and display, highlight important map features. Dock-to-dock auto routing. This is on iOS only right now, and we'll go over that when we get into the advanced next week. Advanced features expire. Features expire with Navionics Plus subscription. Your saved routes will not be lost, but will no longer display any enhanced features without subscription renewal. After expiration of subscription charts within the Navionics Plus coverage area, purchase can be downloaded. Areas which have been downloaded previously cannot be updated without the subscription. So that means you can't update your mapping as Navionics does. Adds more SonarChart data to those maps. You can't update them anymore. Some of the pricing here, I just thought I'd throw this in there in case anybody asks what the pricings are and things like that. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. I just wanted to show you the difference between the Boating USA HD. There's also a Boating USA in Canada. So if you go to Canada, you can get both US and Canada in one app, which is really nice because it covers a lot of area there. The Navionics Plus HD Renew is $24.99 for US, and Canada is $27.99. And then for your phone, the basic app or the Navionics Plus is $9.99, and the USA and Canada is $14.99. And then to renew it, the Navionics Plus for the next year is right there, $4.99 and $7.99, and it carries over into the Android app platform also. Website here, couple of really interesting. Here's where you can get some more information. If you go to navionics.com, you can get the mobile icon. You can go to the mobile, tap on the mobile tab there, and you can get some more information. It'll take you direct links to the Play Store or the iOS or iTunes, I should say. Another little feature there, right to the right there, it's called the web app. This is a free chart previewer online, so you can go online and preview all Navionics mapping there. throughout the throughout the world. So another one little keynote there is when you're on the web app, if you want to see what the SonarChart layer, the more detailed layer, when you scroll in on the lower left-hand corner, you'll find a sonar icon, and click on that, you'll get the SonarChart layer, which is included in the Navionics Plus upgrade. If you got any questions on whether your mobile device is compatible, when you're on the Navionics main page, scroll down to the bottom, you'll see a compatibility guide. Click on that, and there you can find out if your mobile device is compatible with the Navionics app. I've been asked that question a few times, and we're not going to really spend a lot of time on that, but it is there. If you're in question on what you got, if it'll work, go to the compatibility guide. This is what we're going to kind of follow tonight, kind of the round the horn here a little bit. We're going to start number one in the lower right-hand corner, then kind of work our way around the whole app features on the front of the screen there. This is what we're going to be seeing. We're going to cover all those areas of detail on the screen right there. So show you how they work, things like that. A lot of cool stuff right there. So you may want to pull up your app if you got it handy, turn it on, and follow along. But last one, item 8. If we got some time tonight, we'll cover some of the advanced functions, but we're going to try and keep this about an hour long. Like I said, the last time I did it, we got done about 9 o'clock at night. And I want to have guys, if you got some questions at the end, be great. I'll have you guys jump in with some question and answers at the end here. So, let's. Here, just one more thing here real quick. This is what we're going to cover in the advanced feature in part 2 next week, next Monday at the same time here. So this is some of the stuff that's included in the Navionics Nav Plus mobile. So this is what we're going to go over. Okay, so let's get started here. Why don't you guys pull up your app. And there we go, that went away. Okay, the first thing we're going to start on here is the lower right-hand corner. What we got here is a set of protractors, and that is a function you can use to measure distances. So if you got a distance, let's say you're at I'm going to turn that off here and go to the lake here. So let's say we're, where's the boat ramp here? Boat ramp's up on this Lake Marion here. So what we'll do is we'll turn that on. Let's say you want to know how far it is over to a certain distance across the lake. Let's say there's a hot spot over here, and or you want to know how far it is to the far side of the lake. You can actually measure a distance and get a heading. So if you can get an idea. So let's say you want to know how far it is to that waypoint right there. You can measure distances. So it's just a matter of tapping and holding on the pins and moving around the screen. And so yeah, it's a pretty cool feature. You can measure distances. And to turn that off, you just tap it, turn it off. And then, I'm going to show you real quick here. If you tap on the menu feature here, right here, tap on the menu button, and see the menu pop up here at the very bottom. Everybody's always asking, well, I wish there was a owner's manual with this thing. Well, there is. It's in the app itself. It's tap on menu, hit the help function, and everything you want to know about the app is right there. So if you're at work and you're looking for something interesting to do, you can hop online in your app and you can check it out. You can go through all this kind of information here. So it's a very detailed, or if you're on the lake and you forget, you're like, God, what did he say about that thing? Tap in the menu, scroll down to the bottom, scroll down to the bottom there, and you'll find the help function. Very, very useful. Close that out, tap on the map there. Next thing we're going to talk about is how to make a marker / waypoint. So when you were going to do it by just tapping on the screen right now. So if you tap and hold the screen, you see a little icon come up right there. One thing kind of cool about that, notice how it shows, this is on the iOS right now, it shows you the depth of that particular area right now. So scrolling around the lake here, you'll see how it changes. Things like that. Oops, somebody caught some perch right there. And definitely wasn't ice fishing this year. So anyway, what we got here, tap on there. If you tap on the question mark right there, there we go. There we got some information right there. What we got right now is they call it a marker. They remember that waypoint marker, same thing on this app. So if we tap on the marker, right now, marker 19 comes up. We can then edit that. We can backspace that and add a name to that, webinar, scroll down. Here's where you want to kind of be careful. If you tap on set at GPS position, that will put that marker where you are standing right now. So if you're in Minnetonka or something like that, staying at Lake Minnetonka, in your house or whatever, or if you're staying at Lake Minnetonka in the middle of the lake, and you find a hotspot, you can set on GPS position. That'll set it right where you're standing. But like right now, I made a marker in Lake Marion, and I'm in my house. If I set on GPS position, it will now show up where my house is. So what I want to do is tap on Add, and now it shows up on the screen. There is no on-screen naming of the markers right now. It gets a little cluttered, but all your markers are on the screen right now. So let's see here. If we tap on there, no, not that one. Right there. There we can pull it up. There's our marker we just made. So a couple of cool things right now is that on the Android product, we can change that marker icon. We got 4 choices right now. We got a pin, a house, a fish, and an anchor. So you got a choice of 4 different things on the Android or an iOS app. Android only gives you 1. So we can change that, the house there. So say that's your fish house. You can put it there. And this information is private to you. Nobody else can see this data except for you. And so that's one thing. And I'll show you the difference. There's a community edit, it's called. And I had one guy last year, had all his hotspots on the lake marked as community edits. He made a little mistake there. So needless to say, after the webinar, he was busy changing them and deleting them off the community edits. So another cool thing is you can do a boat to. So, and if we tap on there, so you can see right now, of course, we can't boat to it, but you can see it will, that's how we can tap on go. It'll follow us there. Right now, it's giving me a red signal there because my key will offset where I'm land. So we're going to cancel that out. Another way to create a waypoint, let's say your buddy gives you a waypoint, or your fishing buddy, if you got a good buddy, gives you a waypoint of a hot spot on the lake. You can do is if you tap on, back up here. Close. On the upper left-hand corner of the app there, you'll see a looking glass or a spyglass. If you tap on that, here's where you can manually enter a waypoint. So if you tap on the spyglass, tap on latitude and longitude, here you can dial in a waypoint, whatever you want. So let's say Josh Douglas gives me a really hot bass fishing spot on Mille Lacs Lake, and a hot smallmouth spot, and I can dial it in right here and tap on show on map, and now it will show on the map. So wherever this is, Highway 3, whatever, there it is. It just showed up on the map right there. So, yeah, so that's how you can manually enter a waypoint by latitude and longitude. So, and map. Let's see. And to find those markers or waypoints, if you go to the bottom middle you'll see a thing that says menu. If you notice, in your menu right here, markers, there's all your waypoints and stuff that we've created right now. So there's a whole list of all the markers, waypoints, and things that are in my my app right now. So, and in next week's feature, I'll show you how to save those so you don't lose them. There, you can store them off-site on the Navionics cloud. Again, they're private to you, and so we'll close. Sorry about that. Okay, let's close that out. Okay, now we are going to do. Let's go back to Lake Marion here, and you see all those. We're going to talk about now is if anybody's got any questions on the markers and waypoints, if you want to hold off till the end, or if you got any questions now, feel free to drop me a note here. No. So far, so good. Hold on, I gotta close something out here. Hold on. Okay, so that covers our markers and waypoints. Again, that data is private to you. Nobody else can see it. And apologize for that. I thought I had that turned off. The other feature we got on here is called a community edits. And this is included with the Navionics Plus upgrade. If you look on my map here, you see the little fish icons and stuff on here, like right there. This is all community generated data. Anybody can see this as long as you got your community ads turned on in the menus. So let's scroll over to this one right here, Money Ducks, whatever that is. There, okay, so what we can do is we can tap on that and we can get some information about that spot. Not a lot going on there. Somebody is, just made a fishing a hot spot right there. Down below here, anybody can edit this data. You can report it. You can delete it. If you find that somebody's put some bad information on there, you can report the abuse of it, or you can delete it and you can edit it. Again, it's community data. Anybody can look at it, edit it. So if I wanted to, I could add some more information to that. You can also do a boat 2 on the top there if you tap on boat 2. So if we're sitting on, let's say, the boat ramp, we tap on that. So let's say we're up here at the boat ramp up here in the corner right here, and then we want to go to that spot. We could tap on that and go boat 2. So what would happen is that we could go take a route and take us right there. So you can see on this particular lake right here, perch, suspended sunnies, things like that. Now, to create a community edit or generate data, tap and hold on the screen, hit the question mark, and then what you want to do is on the left-hand side right there is tap on Edit Map. There you got a bunch of different information that comes up, and you can select some different things. So let's say generic info. There you can put a text note, a fishing spot, a diving spot, composition of seabed, soft, say mud, rock, things like that. And so let's see here, rock wreck. And so they got all kinds of different types of icons you can place on these particular community edits. So let's say generic information right here, text note. We'll just do a test, done, and add. So now, right now, you see that it's being generated and will then be put in the community edits database, and so that will be there for everybody to see in the future. So Be careful when you're creating a waypoint. If you want to keep it private, make sure it's not a community edit, so anybody can see that stuff. You can also turn on and off community edits. I'll show you that if we tap on the menu function in the bottom here. Let's see, settings, community edits. If I turn that off, all that clutter of community edits. So if you don't care about that stuff, you can turn it off by tapping on menu, and then go down to settings, community edits on, community edits off. So it's your choice. You can play with it or not if you want it on. Of course, like I said, if you're sitting in your fish house, well, not quite yet this year, but sitting in a boat right now, you can scroll around and check out the other spots and things like that on there. Oops. Let's see what we got here. If you edit or delete somebody's community waypoint, does it delete the original waypoint? Yes, it does. You can edit it and it'll change the verbiage on it. If you delete it, it will delete somebody else's community waypoint or community edit. So yes, so if I went on here where it said, go back to Money Ducks, if I tapped on that, edit map, oops, back, right there. If I tap on delete, it will then delete that object. So that community edit. So yes, it's designed to be anybody can edit them and change them around. So I'm not going to change it, just leave it alone because somebody else's deal. But let's say if I wanted to delete my thing, I just put right here where it says test, tap on that, edit map, oops, back, test, there we go. Delete, yes. So anybody could hop on here and delete somebody else's community edits, community shared data. So. Okay, so hopefully that answers everybody. Anybody got any questions on those? Let's take a break here. Anybody got any questions on that kind of stuff, the community edits and the marker/waypoints? Got a question here. How can you prevent this? You really can't. It's a community edit. So that's why you want to do, if you got something you want to keep private to yourself, that's why you do a marker. It's private. Nobody else can do it. So, so that's why you can, again, it's community shared data. Anybody can edit, change it, things like that. So if you got a fishing hotspot, is there a way to get notifications on community edit posts on a lake that you fish a lot? No, there's not. No, there's not. All you can do is, if you're subscribed to Navionics Plus, you can do a refresh, and any date, if you know the lake well enough, you can look at the date, you can see things pop up. So, so there's no actual notification of a particular lake, because we're covering all the United States and Canada here, and that would just be an astronomical amount of emails. But you can look and see when somebody created it. So here, this one was created in January 31st of 2015. So if you know the lake, you can see the date that it was created. So if you're wondering if it's current information, all you gotta do is just go to the icon and tap on them, scroll around the screen. So no, there's no actual notification process of it, of community edits. Okay, I think that's about it there for those. Like I say, we're going to be at the end here. If you got any questions, I'll hang around for a while. So jot down any questions you might have, and when we get to the end of the webinar here, I'll hang around and we can answer questions and things like that. So we covered the community edits. Zoom out, zoom in. You can either do it by the plus minus or the pinch and zoom feature. So you got two ways to do a zoom in and zoom out on your screen. So you can pinch in just like any other screen, you know, your screens, and plus minus. So on there, we covered the waypoints. We're going to do a little bit on the looking glass here, the searching glass here. What you got here, if you tap on that menu, if you tapped on that deal, oops, hold on a second. How often is data updated? Are updates automatic? The drivers change all the time. We'll go over that, but unless somebody's out actually mapping the lakes and things like that, you know, the contour lines and stuff aren't going to change. Well, let's say Navionics goes out and does some SonarChart logging, or let's say somebody goes out and does some SonarChart logging. There is a feature to update all your mapping that if you subscribe to the Navionics Plus in the SonarChart layer. There is a way to do an update. It's not automatic. It's I'll show you, if we get time tonight, I'll show you how to do that. You're talking about rivers change all the time in the advanced map features. There is a way to change the water offset on that. So if you know how much up, you know, if you know the river, how far up, or if it's gone up 10 feet, you can actually change the offset for the mapping. And we'll cover that a little bit later on. Like, if I get time tonight, I'll show you. But if not, I'll show you that next Monday in the kind of the advanced features portion of it. Let's see here. Okay, we're here, and if you look up and down here, you'll see various items up like that. There's a lot of cool data right here. So I got to quick move my pointer around, that pops up. So favorites. If you tap on favorites, here's all your markers that we created earlier. So there's a couple different ways. Fuel station. You tap on fuel station, it will show you the fuel stations in gasoline prices. Well, this is obviously old, but it'll show you the fuel stations right here. So if we zoom in down here, so it'll show you a bunch of fuel. These are people that have subscribed to this. So restaurants and bars, it'll show you all the restaurants and bars in this area pop up. You can tap on that and tell you it's a Denny's. What's that? Vanelli's by the lake, so on and so forth. So, so if you look here, you can play around with this a little bit on your own later on, but there's all kinds of different information available here. You can search. You can actually, if you see at the very bottom here where it says lakes, if you tap on that, you can quick jump to different lakes that are charted, got sonar charts or mapping on them. So Sylvan Lake, go there, it takes you right to there, and so that's Sylvan Lake, Big Stone Lake. So it's a quick way to find a bunch of different lakes in your area without having to search around and things like that. So if you just, again, back, tap on lakes, you know, a bunch of lakes that will pop up in your general areas. Look at all the lakes that we got here. So, you know, these are quite a ways away. So kind of a cool feature, a quick search of lakes, things like that. You don't scroll around. Yeah. So that's enough on that one. We have a feature called geotagging or geotagging, I guess it is. If you tap on that, you can then take a picture of an item. So here's an example down here. It shows up on the area where you've taken the map, where you've taken the picture. So if you're out on a lake and zoom in here on Prior Lake, and you'll just show the map here. See the little camera icon right there in the very middle right there? There's a bunch of community edits around it. So let's see what that camera icon, and this is only available to you. Nobody else can see this. It's on your app. Nobody else can see it. So photo 1, it tells you the depth area, photo 1. So if you click on that, as you can see, this isn't this winter. That auger, many of you are wishing was like that, went all the way to the power head. And that was from last winter. So in, I think, March or April. But what it does is it takes a picture. So if you had a really nice fish in your fish house or whatever, you take a picture, you can go click on the details, you can edit it, you can make some notes about it. It'll give you the date, the latitude and longitude, the altitude, all kinds of data. So you could, you know, if you wanted to, somebody caught a big walleye or a nice crappie or something like that, you could tap on it and, you know, 13-inch crappie or something like that, or if you want to name it, and then it will be saved up in the cache of your geocache of your on your mobile device, and then you just click on save, and so a pretty cool feature. If you don't have to whip out your camera, and like I say, it gives you the date stamp, the time, you know, date, time, the depth, the GPS location. So all that data is automatically recorded right there. There's no guessing of taking it, pulling out your phone, taking a picture of it, and then having to, you know, make a note, you know, figure out what the latitude and the longitude of it is. It's already saved right there. All this data is already saved on it. So it's a pretty cool feature. And, you know, so anyway, yeah, you guys can see this because it's on my iPad. So you guys are viewing my screen. I was thinking, I was wondering if you guys could see this, but yes, if I logged off, or if you're on this Prior Lake, you will not be able to see my camera, this my geo tag picture right here. So pretty cool feature. Saves a lot of, it's a shortcut to just saving a lot of great fishing information. Let's see here, step down. We have a feature called the little sonar icon. This is where, if you get the free version of the app, basically this is what you're going to see. The government view of the app. So the Navionics Plus upgrade will give you, this is what they call the Navionics layer. It's not this high-def SonarChart layer. And then if you click on the SonarChart, as you can see, there's a lot more data available on the SonarChart layer. And just to back up a little bit, this is viewable on the web app, on the Navionics.com website. If you go to the web app, you can click on, you can get all three of these views there. You can check out the Navionic view, and then the SonarChart view, which gives you, you know, a lot more. It's this SonarChart view is a dynamic view that when Navionics goes out and does mapping. Some of the marine specialists goes out and does mapping and things like that. When it's uploaded to Navionics and they process that data, it goes into this, what they call a SonarChart layer. And the Navionics layer right there is pretty much a static layer, never really changes unless there's something major. But the SonarChart layer is the layer that gets all the updates and things like that. You see a thing that says SonarChart Live? That is a feature we're going to go over later. And what that is with the open water, you can actually go out and do live mapping with your iPad and a sonar phone. And you can see I did some on Prior Lake right here last summer in this areas. So, but we're going to cover that in another next week, how to do that stuff, because that'll, we only got so much time. Somebody asked about updating. Here's, as Navionics does updates their SonarChart layer. You can click on update. We're going to check for updates. There's 42.9 megabytes of data available. Excuse me, drying out there. So if we click on update, it will then go through and start updating. You see the little bar on the bottom right there? That'll go across, and I'm not going to do that right now because it will take too long. But here's where, if you subscribe to the Navionics Plus, this is included with the Navionics Plus. This is how you update your charts. So let's see here. What else we got here? Oops. Oh, that's okay, so the icon right below that, the arrow, the GPS arrow, what that is, it's got a couple different features. What that is, if you tap on that, it's going to center you where you are presently sitting. So if I tap on that, oops, there we go. It's going to sit right over the top of me. And it's got a couple different features. It has got a heading up, a course up, and a north up. So there's north up, heading up. So, and so where you can see that faces, that's the direction I'm facing right now. So if we took off like walking across the lake, this would then, your track would be in front of you right now. So, so that's what that little arrow, that GPS centering icon is right below there. I'll give you a look. We can go to the menu here, tap on the menu help, and so here it is right here, GPS, compass, and course up. So if you tap on the GPS, let's see, tap on the GPS button, your current position is centered on the map, tap again, and the chart rotation is activated, indicating your direction of travel, where you're pointing your device, tap it again, and it'll be a course up feature. So it's very similar if you're running a boat GPS, you got heading up, north up, things like that. And so that's what that little function is right down below there. And so we're making pretty good. Any other questions so far? Let's take a break here to see if anybody's got any questions. Anybody got any questions right now? Since we're going to take a little pause here, see if anybody's got any questions. A couple things we'll talk about the map here since we got it up here. There's a couple different views. If you tap on the menu here, we'll just kind of go through some, since we got a little time here, we'll give about another 10 more minutes and then we'll stop and kind of went over everything I wanted to on the screen, the main screen. Couple of things here in the menu item. Again, we covered it, update all. And here's a really cool feature too, is you see where it says download map? What that is if you're going to an area where you're not going to have good cell coverage, because obviously it uses your data plan to download and keep your maps updated. If your phone, most phones got an internal GPS, and let's say you're going to an area in the Boundary Waters or Canada or Lake of the Woods that got very poor cell phone coverage, you can actually, when you got Wi-Fi coverage, you can actually download an area to your, so let's go up to like Mille Lacs Lake. Mille Lacs Lake's maybe, some places don't have good cell phone coverage. So if we tapped on the download, that little box pops up. You can drag that wherever you want. And if we click on download, so what's going to happen is that area is going to be downloaded to our mobile device. It doesn't eat up much for data, there's no way to delete it off, but there's very little data consumed by that memory. And so what'll happen is if you get up there and there's no cell phone coverage, but you got an internal GPS, it will then work just like an internal GPS. All the contour lines will show up on there. Your GPS compass will be on there, this icon in the lower left-hand corner. And so whatever's in that little box will now, you'll be like a handheld GPS where you can use it. So word of caution, of course, cell phones sink in ice holes. There's a lot of really good floating cases out there. I guess I would research them. There's actually some rechargeable battery packs you can plug in, you put your phone into, and it'll charge up your battery. I forget the name of the one, and that's Snow Leopard or something like that. Somebody told me, but anyway. So, but that's what that little feature was right there, where we tapped on the menu, download map, and so again, what'll happen is when you lose cell phone coverage for your Wi-Fi, this box will be then highlighted on your screen, and you can use your device again like a mobile GPS. So you can do that. You know, if you drag it wherever you want. You know, I'm sure. Well, be careful in Red Lake. You probably heard what happened in the news today there. So at least I guess you can get somebody, you know, tell them where you're at, I guess. But you can download, let's say, Red Lake on there, things like that. So, and let's click on later. Again, we talked about update all. This is where you can update your mapping as Navionics updates their mapping. And the same data that's found here will be found on the web app. Oops. Well, let's see here. Somebody asks, I believe there is a limit as to some. You mentioned online the maps are fairly small. Can I download the state of Minnesota just to be safe? No. I think it may come back and say, because I've never done that before. So. It is. So. It appears that you can. So, yeah, so you can see it's downloading that state of Minnesota. So, yes, it looks like this is on my iPad now. And I'm not quite sure on the phone. I have to try it on my phone. But I guess I've never done that. I've only done small chunks and things like that. But you can do it. With software updates, or do previous downloaded maps get updated? Yes, they do. Yes. So if you got downloaded maps on the area right here, yes, those maps will be updated in the SonarChart layer. Any way to print off the map, not off the app, no. Not that, no, you can't, like, there's no print function. You can plug it into a printer or anything like that. So, I've never, no, so there's actually no print function on there where you can print off a map and stuff like that. So, I suppose you can save a screenshot on the web app and print that off. It's the same information, but I guess you'd have to figure out how to print that off off your phone, I guess. So, let's I'm gonna cancel. Stop downloading. So. Let's see here. What else can I cover here since we're on here? Let's see here. If you got any feedback or any problems like that, you want to submit some feedback, they're very responsive they'll give you a case number if you got issues. What is the price difference between the cell phone app and the iPad app? The cell phone app, the basic US is $9.99, and the iPad app is $49.99, and that's for US only. If you go US and Canada, on the cell phone app it's $14.99, and on the iPad it's $54.99. So Tim asks, how do you save your data to Navionics cloud? What you got to do is you got to create an account. And Let's see here. If you click on Sync My Data feature right here, if I didn't have an account, this is where you would, if you have to create an account with Navionics. So if it's your first time buying the app, it will then ask you to, you know, create it. If you turn this on where it says Sync My Data, do you want to keep your changes or delete them all? Don't delete. So this is where you would sync your data to the cloud, the Navionics cloud. So if you get a new phone or you drop your phone down the hole and you got to buy a new one, all your waypoints, routes, and trails and all that stuff is saved up on the Navionics cloud under the Sync My Data feature. So as you're tooling around the lake or whatever, playing around, make sure you go into Menu, into Settings, Sync My Data, and now all your data will then be saved up in the Navionics cloud. If you get a new phone and you've done this, you've synced your data, even if you switch platforms, Android to iOS, as long as you've created an account, your data will show back up again. But so I hope that answers your question. So community edits, turn those on and off if you don't want to see them. Some of the other things here, units. Here's where you can set your distance, your depth, your gallons, and things like that. Your speed, your temperature. You can save that up. Let's see here. Let's see. Some other things here real quick. Boat settings. This will come into play if you're trying to do an auto route or a route feature, the draft on the boat. Unfortunately, the lowest will go is 1 foot. So, but we'll go over that a little bit more next time around, next week in advanced features. Okay, let's say you buy a new phone, and if you got another iOS phone, you buy another iOS phone, and your Navionics subscription is still good, your Navionics Plus, you can restore your purchase down here without having to repurchase the app. Now, if you have an Android phone and you buy an iOS phone, you can't restore a purchase. It's two different operating platforms, so you can't go back and forth between the two each other. It has to be the same operating platform to restore a purchase. So again, if you get a new device, that's how you restore your purchase. So if we click and retrieve previously purchased charts and upgrades. Let's see here. Any other questions since I'm going through here? I'm going to go through a lot more of the settings and things like that next week. What time we got here? It's about 8 o'clock. Feel free to ask some questions here. We're kind of hanging up here right now. If you got any questions, feel free to drop some questions here. And I think I got Al had quite a few questions, and Tim. And I hope I answered your questions. If you got any questions, any other questions, drop me an email at my email address at khedquist@navionics.com. So, well, I'll show you what I'm going to go over next week here since we're on the thing here right now. Map options. This is what we're going to go over a little bit more next week. So we're going to talk about water level correction, water level offset. There's a fishing mode, a shallow water highlight, depth contours, SonarChart density, all kinds of really cool stuff that's available in the upgrade. And this will take another hour easily just to go through all this kind of stuff. And for those of you that have a little bit tougher time seeing, we have a easy view function where everything gets really big, magnifies everything. Let's see here. Oh, here, You can do a couple other things too. You can turn off, you can do no overlay. So you can see the areas where I've downloaded. So that's the areas I've downloaded to my unit. And satellite imagery, you can turn on satellite imagery and terrain. So terrain, it just gives you the, you know, you don't get the satellite imagery, but you do get the contours and things like that. So you get the, I guess, your typical map view that you would see, you know, some, you get the highways and lakes and things like that, terrain contours. So you got a couple of different views. You got no overlay, which gives you no background, just the lakes. So if you get rid of all the clutter of the background, and you got satellite and terrain. So any other questions? If not, I'll hang around here for a little bit. If anybody's got any questions, feel free to drop me. I'll hang around for a few more minutes and go over that. And well, it looks like that's about it for questions and things like that. So again, this will be recorded and we'll play it back at a later date. And oops, here's one I missed. Do you need Navionics Plus upgrade? I only have the regular $10 Android app and does not have all of the features. Yes. Well, you got the, tell you what, Charles, drop me an email. You should have all the features, and drop me an email. This is from Charles. Do you need the Navionics Plus upgrade? Well, they revamped the app a little bit here recently, so you may be in an overlap period right now on this right now. So so drop me an email. I just updated Navionics tonight, and it does not show the water as blue anymore. It shows shallow water in dark and deeper color in white. That is part of your, if you go, let me just show you that real quick. You probably have something, so I'm assuming you're seeing this. So there is a shallow water highlight feature. There's a fishing range also. Maybe that's what you're seeing. So if you go to the settings in the map options, you may want to check to see where your fishing range is set. So if you notice on the side here, you can do a depth highlighting on this thing, a fishing range highlight. So it'll highlight the various different depths. And maybe that's what you're seeing on yours. So you can see so this is a really cool feature to mark various humps and things like that. So say we're on this lake right here. We can do a depth highlight a fishing range. And let's say in this lake right here, there's a, you can put a waypoint on. Slide that over. So right there, you can go around and you can actually go around and, you know, mark various humps on the lake. So there's a 20-foot spot. You can, you know, again, make sure you save it as a marker, not as a community edit. Let's say here there's looks like we got about a, you know, a spot here is 30 feet, a little hump right there. You know, this goes around and shows you all the humps in the lake like that, so you can actually go around and find out various features and things like that that you want to find. Hopefully that answers your question, Dwight. I think that's what you got going on there. So if you go to menu, map options, you'll find a lot of really cool stuff over there. Anybody else got any questions? Oh, and by the way, you can also, Dwight, you can also do a restore defaults, reset the defaults. And so, so you can see right now, I hit a reset to default values. So again, that's maybe what you're seeing in your case. Anybody else got any questions? We'll give it about, I'll give another 5 more minutes. If anybody's got any questions, I'll hang around here and we'll go with that. But again, make sure you put on your calendars, tune in next week. We'll do another one with advanced features. And I want to thank everybody for stopping by tonight and spending some time. Unfortunately, it's hard to get excited about ice fishing. There's no ice. So I think a lot of us are waiting for it.